Hello Year 8 and welcome to your first lesson on sustainability in geography. So to begin this new topic, we're going to look backwards. You'll do now a task, what caused the one-child policy? Simple, quick task, write a sentence to answer this question. Got a sentence starter at the bottom there, should you need it, and at most 5 minutes to have a good think, and then put your pen to paper and finish that sentence off. Pause the video now and get on with that. Okay, fantastic. So the one-child policy was caused by the rapidly growing population of China. You may have used the term overpopulation here. Great. And that was threatening to become too much to provide for. For example, food, medical supplies, medical help, and education. Now, with that in mind, let's move on and have a look at what we're doing today. So we're starting this topic by looking at the key term that is all about, the word sustainable. So copy the title, what is being sustainable all about? Read through the objectives, and all you're going to need today is a pen. So get on with that. Pause the video now. Okay, little thinking task first. Don't need to write anything here. Just have a look at these two pictures, these two scales, and think about how they might be linked back to China, back to the idea of overpopulation, there being too many people. Think about what you think they're trying to show about China's overpopulation problem. So spend a couple of minutes thinking about that, and I'll come back to you in a second on the next slide. Pause the video now. Okay, so in order for something to be unsustainable, it needs to be out of balance, and this is where the scales come in. So China were worried that their population was going to be out of balance with the services they could offer, with the food, with the education, with the healthcare, with all the other things that we need in society to keep people happy and healthy and to have a good country. To be sustainable would need those two things to be more in balance. And China decided that the way to do that was to try to reduce the amount of babies born, to slow and even try to stop their population growth. And we know that wasn't particularly successful. We also know that the one-child policy was probably not the reason why China's population started to slow down in its growth. It was actually probably more to do with the increasing wealth and development of the people. It naturally would have happened anyway, but nevertheless, this is the aim. This was their aim. Their aim was solid. Their aim was to be a more sustainable country. So sustainability means meeting the needs of the present without compromising the needs of future generations. We're talking about meeting the needs of people, and there is a big focus here on the environment, because our environment, our surroundings are so important to keeping us alive. We rely on it. So copy that sentence down for me, please. It should take 1 minute. Pause the video now. Okay, so attached to class charts, there should be an article, a PDF article on sustainability. I'd like you to answer questions A to E in full sentences as you read through. They are in chronological or time order, so you should come to question A first, and then B and C and D and E in that order. So for example, with full sentences, for A, how did the earliest humans start to affect the environment around them? You could write something along the lines of, the earliest humans started to affect the environment around them by, and then the answer to this one is a list of a few points. Okay, over to you. This should take probably 15 to 20 minutes, depending how quickly you are able to read and pick out that information. Once 20 minutes is up, if you're still working, move on to the next slide and we'll go through some answers. So pause this video now and open up that PDF. Okay, so some answers. The earliest humans affected their environment by clearing forests and planting crops. All the answers here are in red, by the way. If you've missed something off, pause at any point and you can add this into your answer. Environmental issues became worse as human populations rose dramatically and technology improved, allowing us to use more natural resources than before. There's two halves to that answer: population rise and the improvement in technology. Humans have increased the possibility of a mass extinction by using aeroplanes, polluting the seas from factories, overfishing and overfarming, and releasing chemicals into the environment. There's many other ways as well, but those are the ones focused on in the article, so those are the ones I'd expect you to write. Humans increased the greenhouse effect by burning fossil fuels for energy. Hoping that some of you, if not all of you, would have known that already, based on our climate change work earlier in this year. And the same goes for the last point. Global warming has caused polar ice caps and mountain glaciers to melt, leading to sea level rise and flooding. Now, hopefully you are also aware there are other impacts of global warming as well. But again, the article focused on that. So that's what the answer should be on your paper. Okay, let's move on. So let's think about this applying to ourselves. Let's apply this concept of sustainability to ourselves, because in all the rest of the lessons, we're going to be looking at various other examples of different places and how they are or are not sustainable. So copy the subtitle, how can I be more sustainable? And then list all of the ways that you can be sustainable at home. And there's 2 there for you already. Turn off the lights when you leave the room and recycle your waste as much as possible. If it's an environmental action, if it's for improving the environment, it's probably going to be something that we can write here. Anyway, get going. This should take you 10 minutes at most. Pause the video now. Okay, here's my list that I came up with myself, thinking about it for 5 to 10 minutes myself. So turn off the lights, we've said that. Recycle your waste, we've said that. Turning off taps when not using water. Showering instead of bathing, again. Reducing the amount of water we're using. Reduce food waste by only buying what you need. Reducing use of plastic and single-use items. Walking or cycling more than driving. Using public transport more than driving. Both of those aimed at reducing air pollution. Growing wildlife-friendly plants in your garden. I'm pretty sure there's some I've missed. So if you've come up with any other ideas, by all means, email them over to me, ldixon@Woking High, or your teacher if I'm not your teacher. If you're not in my class, don't email me. There's some other classes who are looking at my lessons as well. Anyway, yeah, send me some ideas, and if I think they're good, I might ping you an achievement point. Okay, final part of this lesson then. Why is it important to live sustainably? Why should we be doing all these things? Well, I'd like you to watch this little video. It's a sweet little story about a girl and a date tree. Think back to the example of China as well, the importance of balancing those scales, and maybe even rewind the video and rewatch that if you need to remind yourself. Then use the video and your thoughts from earlier to answer that question, that subtitle question, why is it important to live sustainably? Put that into a few sentences, into a short paragraph, and that will take us to the end of this lesson. Okay, there are many, many ways to answer that question, none of them right or wrong, so I'm sure you've done a great job. Here's my answer. I sat down, had a think about this, and I came up with this quite short but concise opinion. It is important to live sustainably to ensure that future generations can live happy and healthy lives just like us. I think that sums it up perfectly. So make sure that you've got your answer down. Like I said, it doesn't have to be exactly the same as mine. There's no set answer to this. It's your opinion on why it's important, but hopefully you do realize it is important. So there we go. That is what sustainability is all about. Protecting us and future generations, meeting our needs, meeting their needs as well. Trying not to be selfish about life and thinking about how our actions will impact people who live in the world now and in the future as well. So with that, that's the end of this lesson. Like I said, the rest of this topic we'll be looking at sustainability sort of around the world and in different places. So looking forward to that. Have a lovely day. Take care, and I shall speak to you soon. Goodbye.